you will win. Your understanding, your depth, your height, your energy, your brain power, it's like many, many infinitely times higher if you eat fruit. And I think that's how I beat the gang stalkers too. I think had I not been eating fruit, had I not had that, had I not had literally the diet that God says to eat, had I not obeyed God, the gang stalkers actually would have got me. Now, when I say that they have Doras who stalk, I mean unattended Doras, okay? I don't mean some Dora with her parents. So today, there are only attended to Doras, and I'm not surprised. I actually had a suspicion, and if you go through all my previous videos, if you ever find one on the weekends, I don't know if you can search the dates of the videos, but if you find one on the weekends, you'll see every single time there's Doras following. And it looks pathetic. They're standing there like idiots. They're standing there like soldiers. At one point, I would have wanted to steal something from Walmart so that they would be punished for asking me to donate to charity. What the fuck? Okay. Why is my card not working? Insert card in reader? Okay. That's really, really weird. That's never happened before. Man, okay. I don't even know my fucking PIN. I think it's 7676. But don't tell anyone, that's secret. Approved! Yeah, okay. Don't tell anyone my card number either if you saw that. Like, I have so many friends who are gang stalkers that if you try to scam me, like that guy at Shoppers Drug Mart, like that stinker at Shoppers Drug Mart, who literally looked at my card, who literally held my card up, looking at the back of it, studying the number, and then like 20 minutes later the card stops working and the bank is like, yeah, I got it detected for fraud. Now, was that guy just literally the one, or was he just designed to appear to be the one? Yeah, it's funny how when the police stalk you with children while filming you and making them assume mating positions in front of you, bending over and standing in front of you, and then you start filming it, it's funny how they suddenly stop. Funny how they suddenly stop. But you know, I actually don't blame the police. I think the police are following the orders of the handlers. I think the country has already been taken over, and the police are not the ones doing it, it's the government. I think the police hate the government. I would bet that secretly the police hate the government. And that actually is very unfair. As much as I hate the police, there is actually a police who I love now from that group. And it's unfair to make police do things that people hate you for. When you force the police to arrest someone for like smoking weed or something, that gives the police a bad name. And that's unfair to make someone do that. And so I feel like I have friends, as I feel like I'm actually happy. Hello everyone, I'm putting Richard outside on his harness, and I'm about to go to the store to get some chicken fingers or chicken stuff, vegan chicken stuff. and they're gonna know that they're gonna do something. They're like, oh, you're going to get chicken stuff, are you? We're gonna get you. But I don't really feel like anyone hates me, which is kind of new. I haven't really felt appreciated for a very long time. So Richard will be able to breathe better out here, and I wanted to clear up some stuff that I just said in my previous video because I was kind of stressed out. It's a full moon night. I said that Richard was attacking everyone. Everyone was threatening him that, hey, you can't let your cat out because he's attacking us. But that's not exactly true. The first threat we had was from the woman across the street. She said, your cat pissed in our daughter's friend's car, or something like that. And I thought, really? You know, he went in your car and he pissed? You know, or something like that. And he shit on our driveway. Someone's going to call the Humane Society on him. I'm not saying who it is. I don't know who it's going to be, but someone's going to do it. So I said, okay, let me wash your driveway. Like, I'm going to come over, wash your driveway to wash the shit off. She says, no, it's fine. I already did it. And it looked more like, you know, I don't know if I saw it or not. You know, she definitely said that. She's like, I already did it. I already cleaned it. And I guess I was imagining it. I was thinking it must be puke. I don't think he'd shit on the driveway. He'd go in the garden or something. And so then it was this other woman, Ursula's friend. And Ursula was like, hey, someone's going to call the city on you. And we don't know. We're not going to say who it is, but it's someone with little dogs. And so I was like, okay. And then we had this woman who came by and she said, hey, is that your cat on the windowsill? And then we had someone call and say, hey, is this your cat? Here, we have your cat. And we were like, yeah, that's our cat. Just bring him, just let him go and he'll just come home. And she's like, no, I'm gonna bring him to you just so he doesn't get hurt. And then she brought him to us and she had a black assassin suit on. And Ursula was there wearing the same sunglasses that her son was wearing when he was talking about double fisting me. And when he was in the video game store stalking me with his Spider-Man doll. And so then this other woman knocked on the door and she said, I love Todd. Don't get me wrong, but he just walked up to our dog and swatted him in the face. And that was kind of like the point at which we realized that we should keep Todd indoors now. And he was already pretty geriatric by that point. And what caused this geriatric, I don't know. I remember he ate a pot of gravy and then he had shit all over his ass and he didn't clean it. It was the first time he was unhygienic. And ChatGPT says that a cat does not have heart attacks like a human does. When a cat eats gravy that has a lot of salt and onions in it, that's really bad for a cat. And if the cat is 15 years old and it's already on the verge of organ failure, that gravy could tip the cat over into some kind of decline. So I'm not necessarily thinking that Todd was poisoned. And if I do think he's poisoned, I know the handler's job is to make me think that someone did it. So I actually don't have proof either way that someone did it. But certainly there was, well, you know what? I said it all in the posts, okay? So I don't need to go through this. What I want to talk about more is that every single time I go to Walmart on a weekend, there's going to be someone between the ages of 8 and maybe 16 at the oldest, but usually around 12. There's usually going to be a 12-year-old. There's usually going to be 12-year-olds stalking me. And this happens absolutely every time without exception on the weekends. And after I started exposing more lately, the last time I went to Walmart, I did not see any 12-year-olds. And it was the first fucking time. And I thought, oh my God, did I finally expose this enough? But I didn't have my camera on me either. So usually if you see stalker kids, they're gonna be at the front of the store. They're just gonna be standing there with their cell phone, or they're going to be following me around. And they will do it more obvious. If I don't have the camera, they will do it different than if I do have the camera. But the last time I went to the Walmart on the weekend was the first time in my life that I can remember now, since I've known about gang stalking, that there was no kids stalking. And I have a feeling that that's because I've just been exposing this so much that it's now not in their best interest to do that. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, what's going on here. But I think Ursula's son walks the bulldog who wears a green glow stick, who also is walked by a woman who is connected to a family who I can't say. And I think they were trying to tell me, because I was talking about that family, and I'm not allowed to do that because they get really angry. Someone gets really angry. And I said, I think they're going to do something really bad. Let's see what they're going to do. And then I had this dream where I was stepping on cat puke, and our tenant was in our house with a bottle of Kahlua. And then I woke up and I realized it was the first time I had fallen asleep without the door locked. And then I think the next day, my timing is a little bit off from my memory, but I think the next day is when he had this panting attack. So here we have a whole bunch of gang stalkers, and so you can see you see how that guy just kind of walked in my way a little bit? He kind of did a very subtle in my way thing. And I don't feel like these people are on the in crowd. This might be the Doras down here. You can see this this guy over here. The guy on the left might be a Dora. But what was I saying again? I forget. Oh yeah. So we're gonna get 3 of these. These things are the best. And then what? What was I talking about? I had something I wanted to say. Oh well. Something about double fisting guy. Not allowed to talk about certain people. I said, I'm talking about these certain people. This is really against the rules. Let's see what they do. And then the first, you can never tell though. They would want you to believe it's them even if it's not them. And then they had a woman park a car out front of our house that looked like a funeral car. And that car was parked on my birthday when my hat suddenly reappeared. And recently my hat was in the same spot where an extension cord was stolen after I had talked bad about that certain family. And then even after that is when Richard had his poisoning. So you might think, well, why did they break in to steal the extension cord and they didn't poison him then? Did you say something bad after the fact? I don't know. Probably. But the handler's job is to bankrupt society and to create civil war. So they're going to try and make you blame anyone. That's basically what the mass kinetics are. It's basically some trans retard who has no brains anymore because he's being trafficked to fuck. And then they just say, okay, blame the church people or something. Okay, this is definitely what I need. And we got to get cat treats. But I don't feel like I'm part of the out group anymore. So when there's people who are kind of rude, they kind of walk in my way, they're kind of jerks, I don't really feel like they're responsible in a sense because they're just following orders. But in another sense, even if they are responsible, I don't feel like it matters. I feel like I have the support of gang stalkers in general. I feel that most gang stalkers are on my team. And I'm on theirs. Have you ever considered that when a gang stalker is hurting your ears driving their car, that's way more challenging for them, that they have to sit in that car all day and drive around that car? Have you ever thought that if they could trade places with you, they might? And that is what they're going through is totally fucked up. Because obviously you can't think that if you're just thinking, fuck you, you should die, I hate you, I hope you fucking watch your kids get skull fucked or something. You're not gonna have any compassion. You're not gonna see the person. You're not gonna look into their eyes. You never look at someone you hate. You never look into the eyes of someone you hate. And so because you're afraid you're like them. Because you're afraid you're the same as them. That's why you never do it. Because you're afraid that because you hate them, you have the capacity to be exactly like them. And you never look into their eyes. But where's the fucking cat food? I mean, is the cat food in the grocery? I don't know where they put... I'm supposed to get cat treats. And so I don't feel like I'm part of the out group anymore. But where would they put cat food? I mean, this just confuses the hell out of me. I should probably find an employee. I don't want to talk to people though. I seriously really don't want to talk to people. Like, I really don't want to do it. I have to do it. I don't really want to do it. Excuse me. Do you have cat food?
Yep. The fat sections are down this way.
Like over there?
The fat. You see the fat?
Oh, I see it now. Thank you. Okay, I'm so stupid. That guy was really hot. That guy was really hot, actually. He had mystical eyes. I felt so stupid. I'm like, oh yeah, right. Okay, it's a huge sign over there. But I don't feel hated anymore. I feel, partly because I had the support group. I went to a support group that was full of gang stalkers, basically full of gang stalkers. And they loved me. And I thought, you guys are evil as fuck. I didn't know they're gang stalkers. I thought, you guys are evil. You're literally the typical person. You're the antithesis, or maybe not the antithesis. What's the word I'm looking for? Whatever an average person is, that's what you are. But they're bipolars. You know, I like the bipolar. I like actually people who are mental, and because they're not hypocrites. And I loved them. I grew to love them, and I actually felt supported by them. I felt like you guys actually love me, and you know, even though some of them were teases, but they took care of that too. I probably could have had sex with some of them, and it wouldn't have felt like a tease, and it would have been great. I mean, yeah, basically. And then, therefore, now I'm aware that probably most gang stalkers do like me, and I like most gang stalkers. So when someone is mean and they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna walk in your way, I'm like, well, that's not even representative of the overall situation. I have friends actually now. Okay, I don't want to talk to people again. I really don't want to talk to people, but I have to fucking, you know, wait in line. And I started eating fruit again when Richard was all fucked up. And it kind of increased my IQ a bit, increased my energy. If you eat fruit and you fight against someone who doesn't eat fruit,